Welcome to Blackpool, and behind me is the Big One roller coaster. I guess as iconic a sight on the skyline of Blackpool as Blackpool Tower itself. Today we're here to explore Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now, I grew up in Blackpool and spent many happy hours and days exploring Blackpool Pleasure Beach when I was a child. Today's a special day. It's the 100th anniversary of the Big Dipper roller coaster. So I thought we'd have a wander around and see what celebrations are going on inside this iconic theme park. But there's also something else I want to do today. I want to take you to experience the best ice cream in the entire world. Yes, I said it. The best ice cream in the entire world, and it's actually just along the road from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Last night I stayed at the Big Blue Hotel right here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and I was lucky enough to be upgraded to a king suite. It was absolutely fantastic. I was so grateful to the Pleasure Beach for the upgrade, and I did a separate video for that. If you want to watch it, I'm including the link just above right now. Now, admittedly, I don't consider myself to be a theme park enthusiast, but Blackpool Pleasure Beach holds a special place in my heart. My grandfather used to bring me here after school every single Wednesday. And to be perfectly honest, the park itself is like an open-air museum, a historical record of some of the best rides from over the last 100 years. Hence why today is the 100th anniversary of the Big Dipper roller coaster. But there are rides in Blackpool Pleasure Beach that are even older. Now, normally when I say feel the power of history, I'm normally touching an ancient castle or some other ruin. But to be perfectly honest, there's as much powerful history here as Blackpool Pleasure Beach as there is at an old ruined castle, as we shall see when we get inside the park. But first, we really need to try that best ice cream in the world. It's just down here. It's just a gentle 10-minute stroll along the promenade, and of course, there in the distance we can see Blackpool Tower. Here we go. Ignore the joke shop. Make a note of this street name, Waterloo Road, Blackpool. Ice cream this way. Here we go. Notarianni ices, established in 1928. How to order? Step one is easy. Vanilla. What's all that about? Yep, that's right. Notarianni only do vanilla, nothing else. Just vanilla. And believe me, you don't need anything other than just vanilla. Believe me, that is the best vanilla ice cream in the entire world. And of course, it's a 99 flake as well. It's hard to describe just how good Notarianni is. Every time I come to Blackpool, I will always make an effort to come to Waterloo Road and to have a Notarianni ice cream cone. It is genuinely the best. Oh, I'm going to finish this and then we're going to head back to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Pleasure Beach was founded in 1896 by William Bean. I love how this coffee shop celebrates his name. And look how the fence looks like a roller coaster. And we're inside. Now, the main entrance wasn't too busy. Having been a guest at the Big Blue Hotel, I could have gone in through a VIP entrance, but of course I wanted that ice cream, so I just came in the main entrance anyway, no problem at all. And we immediately see one of Blackpool Pleasure Beach's oldest rides. This is the Flying Machines, built in 1904 by a very famous engineer, Sir Hiram Maxim. That is definitely the power of history right there in front of us. I should have said we're not actually allowed to film on the rides here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which makes sense, I guess. Everybody's safety is of paramount importance. There are loads of POVs online if you fancy searching for them, but today I want to focus on the history of the rides here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And actually, because I can't film on them, you won't know whether I actually bottled out of going on some of the rides. This is the Grand National roller coaster, built way back in 1935. Now it looks as if it's a twin track dueling racing roller coaster, and in fact that's what happens. Two trains racing each other all the way around, but it pulls off a very special trick. When the trains get back to the station, they've swapped sides. Now this used to really perplex my grandfather. Every week when he used to bring us here after school, we would watch the Grand National and he'd try and work out, how do those trains swap sides? And sadly, it was only many years after he died, when Google came along, that I found out how the trick is performed. It isn't really two tracks, it's only one track. It's called a Mobius loop, and the station is the halfway point. So when the trains get back to the station, they've only gone halfway around the track, and that's why they magically swap sides. Do you know, I actually get quite emotional when I tell that story, because I'm sure my grandfather's up there looking down now, feeling really happy that we finally worked out the secret of the Grand National roller coaster. And just to prove it, when the trains get back to the station, it'll be the other train that's on the side that the blue train started from. Should be any minute now. There you go, the green train is on this side and the blue train has swapped over to the other side. Another absolute classic ride just behind me, the Ghost Train, built back in 1930. And this was the ride that gave us the name Ghost Train. Since then, all the spooky rides have been called Ghost Trains, but this was the original. But here's the thing, this Ghost Train is supposed to be actually haunted. That's right. Lurking deep within the shadows, beyond all those animatronics, is a real ghost. It's called Cloggy. If you go on the ride, will you be able to hear him walking about with his clogged feet? Say hello to my little friends. That was fantastic. That is the definitive Ghost Train, the best Ghost Train there is, I think, in the world. Oh, what a sight just ahead of us. The iconic and now 100 years old Big Dipper. Look at the teardrop. Or is it the onion? There you go, you see, that's the controversy. Some people say it's a teardrop, some people say it's an onion. I've always been in the onion camp, and I think onion is actually what it's supposed to be. Actually, I'm old enough to remember when the teardrop or the onion was actually a sphere. My God, that is so long ago, I don't want to even think about it. At the moment, the Big Dipper is exclusively only available for the media. Yes, the TV and the press are still down there, and us plebs are being kept out. Oh, here's the Wallace and Gromit ride. When I was a kid, this was called the Gold Mine, and they re-themed it about 10 years ago, all about the Wallace and Gromit films. I haven't actually done this one since it was the Gold Mine, so I think I'm going to have to get on this one. Wallace and Gromit was great fun, actually much more child-friendly than the Gold Mine ever was. Nickelodeon Streak is another wooden roller coaster, and this one dates back to 1934. When it was originally built, they just called it the roller coaster, but about a decade ago they painted it orange, as you can see, and it became re-themed to Nickelodeon Land. If you're not a massive fan of really wild roller coasters, Nickelodeon Streak is probably the one for you. Now, it's still very rickety and it bounces around quite a lot, but it's not as out and out lethal as Grand National or Big Dipper. So it's quite a good starter coaster for people who are a little bit nervous, like me. The Steeplechse Ride is unique in the world. Built back in 1977, opened by Grand National winner Red Rum, it's one of the only, it is the only ride like it in the world, sitting on top of horses on a single rail, albeit 3 single rails. If you go in the Chinese puzzle maze, that's where you're going to see all these amazing views of the steeplechase, the Nickelodeon streak, and the big one, which we've just seen. We're right in the middle of everything here, and there's the structure of Nick's streak directly above my head. And of course the tallest roller coaster in the UK for now, the Pepsi Max big one. Now it was originally the tallest roller coaster in the whole world, then it was the tallest roller coaster in Europe, now it's the tallest roller coaster in the UK until 2024, when its record will be beaten by a new roller coaster at Thorpe Park. So big one is enjoying itself while it can. And this sprawling mass of twisted steel is Blackpool Pleasure Beach's latest roller coaster. It's called Icon, and as you would expect, it's really iconic. I wonder what they're going to build here next. Will they ever top Icon? Blackpool Pleasure Beach is spread out over 42 acres, and with all the walking we've done between the rides and between the restaurants and other attractions, I reckon we'll have walked miles and miles and miles today here. My feet are getting a little bit sore. And there it is, the birthday coaster itself, the Big Dipper. Finally open to the public. I think all the press and the journalists have scarpered home to do some editing or something, but now it's time to have a look at the Big Dipper. I love how there's a fountain shaped just like the onion thing, or the teardrop thing, or the whatever it is thing. Well, it might be 100 years old. They might have just given it a nice, bright new red and white paint job, but it's still as rickety as ever. And a great thrill ride, which I think will probably be around for another 100 years. Absolute perfection. I need to go and have a sit down. And the ride which has the biggest queues that I've seen today is Valhalla. It's an indoor water ride with some steep drops, lots of Viking effects, fire, ice, you name it, it's in there. It was built back in the year 2000, and over the last few years they've been renovating it significantly. So it's obviously very popular, but how does the poem go? Thrills by the second, you can bet, but we can't help it if you get wet. Well, if you go on this, you're going to get absolutely f***ing soaked. It is one I've decided not to do today, purely because I don't want to get soaked. Now we've had a really good walk round Blackpool Pleasure Beach, let me know what you think in the comments. Isn't it just an amazing living museum charting the history of amusement park rides from ancient to modern? And of course, it's just such great fun as well. What an amazing day we've had here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Memory lane, thrills, spills, a little bit of whoa belly, and just great fun to reminisce and to revisit somewhere that was such a massive important part of my childhood. There's only one thing left that we need to do. No, it's not another Notarianni ice cream. I need something a little bit stronger. Let's go. Cheers. Oh, my shredded nerves needed that. Well, we're back where we started, here at the Big Blue Hotel at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Rog Vlog. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until the next video, remember, there's always something to see and to ride and to drink. So get out there and find it.
I'm about to explode.